There was a time when SUVs were big, bulky, muscular cars with equally big engines and four-wheel drive. But these days, even small, frugal front-wheel drive cars can be termed SUVs if they stand a bit taller than normal and look the all-terrain part. The Opel Mokka X is a good case in point. The Mokka X is the latest updated version of the original Mokka, which was launched in South Africa in March 2015. Since then, around 2,700 Mokkas have been sold locally, which translates into around 120 units a month. Not bad for a car in a crowded market. We spent a year in the company of the original Mokka, so it's been interesting to compare the newcomer with our fond memories of that long-term test car. The single most important difference of this new Opel Mokka X is the front end, and more specifically the headlights, which now feature an LED daytime running light. Doesn't sound like a big change, but it does make quite a big difference. The only other notable change is the move to 19-inch wheels for the top-spec Cosmo versions, and while they may look attractive, they only serve to confirm that the Mokka X is more urban warrior than all-terrainer. The rest of the Mokka package remains essentially unchanged. The X retains the stocky shape, the short overhangs and the raised ride height of the original. Front and rear scuff plates add character, but shouldn't be interpreted as an indication of all-terrain capability. The cabin has also been updated. The Mokka X gets a spruced up interior with new fabrics and new finishes. This Cosmo version under scrutiny here has black leather, for instance, and a more streamlined and more user-friendly dashboard as well. Perhaps the biggest change inside is to the infotainment system. Dubbed IntelliLink 4.0, it offers enhanced functionality and wider device support. In range-topping Cosmo form, the list of standard equipment is extensive, including front and rear park distance control with reverse camera, auto wipers and auto headlights with active high beams, electric windows and mirrors, climate control and a full house of active and passive safety kit. At 365 litres, the boot is bigger than it looks. The drivetrain has been carried over and remains a Mokka X highlight. All four Opel Mokka X models still use the same 1.4-litre turbocharged engine, rated at 103 kilowatt of maximum power and 200 newton meters of torque. Drive is also still to the front wheels. In terms of gearboxes, you get a choice of either a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed auto transmission. The engine still feels a little weak-kneed when pulling off due to a combination of mild turbo lag and a tallish economy-inspired final drive. But once the turbo pressure is up at full strength, overall performance is brisk enough despite the relatively small engine capacity. The manual gearbox is slick and user-friendly, underlining just how engaging and effective a stick shift can be at a time when two-pedal cars have become the norm. Behind the wheel, you'd never tell the difference between this Opel Mokka X and its predecessor. It still gets from 0 to 100 in just under 10 seconds, top speed 196 kilometers an hour, and the handling quite sure-footed and confident. But the steering still feels slightly over-assisted as well. The lack of steering feedback gets in the way of ultimate driver engagement, but the chassis' communicative nature and the unruffled suspension make for composed and predictable road manners. Body lean is well contained and turn-in is reassuringly precise. The claimed combined cycle fuel consumption is an impressive 6 litres per 100 k's, but the Opel is likely to be thirstier in real-world conditions. Expect around 9 litres in mainly urban use, dipping to the 7s for open-road driving. The new Opel Mokka X will certainly turn more heads than its predecessor, while the spruced-up interior looks and feels smarter too. It also still offers a lot for the money, although the slightly more affordable Enjoy version is probably the true value star. Nothing's changed as far as engine and drivetrain are concerned, with a small capacity turbo mill still providing ample urge. The manual gearbox is a slick affair and handling is confident despite over-assisted steering and a taller stance. Updated styling adds new visual appeal, but under the sheet metal, the Mokka X remains virtually identical to its predecessor.